Mercedes are at a crossroads according to their staff. 2024 is going to be a crucial year for them in which they either see themselves returning to the top step once again, or see them giving up on the current set of regulations altogether. Are they going to throw the towel early? Let's dive into some of the team's words on their prospects and thoughts for the upcoming season. Because of the upcoming Big F1 rule changes being only 2 years away, James Allison explains why Mercedes must begin 2024 on a high note. And it doesn't take a technical specialist to understand how important this year is for Mercedes. After 2 torturous years of Red Bull domination, the Silver Arrow's time is running short. The window of opportunity is narrowing as new aerodynamic and engine specifications come into effect in a couple of years. Along with that, Toto Wolff's team's margin of error is getting less. Even with a good winter of growth and development, the German team may find itself lagging behind Red Bull. Such was the RB19's domination, which was unrivaled even with a small number of enhancements. However, another mishap this winter might spell the end of Mercedes for the 2024 and 2025 seasons. This is true for both their championship ambitions and their development in comparison to Ferrari and McLaren. James Allison acknowledges this urgency and emphasizes the need of getting a head start. "It's a new season, and we have to make sure you get out of the starting blocks well," he said. "The car will be completely new, and it is doubly important that the vehicle is good for 2024. The new rules for 2026 are slowly casting their shadow on us, and we have to build the corresponding car as early as 2025. The car from 2025 will therefore be closely related." In certain ways, the previous 12 months have been fully focused to beginning the 2024 season strong. Mercedes realized almost immediately that last year would be mostly about damage control. Red Bull's lead would never be erased in a single season, especially given the W14's poor start. Brackley's car is likely to be substantially different for the opening round in Bahrain. Last season's changes to the W14's Zeropod concept were merely the first phase. In order to further the team's new orientation, a more complete set of innovations will be provided for this year. However, whether or not this generates the necessary effects for Lewis Hamilton and George Russell remains to be seen. But after dominating the previous 2 seasons, George Russell has no doubt Red Bull will stay on top in 2024, at least for the beginning of the season. Despite initial indications that Ferrari was on the mend, Red Bull emerged as the dominant force with the 2022 rule revisions. The 2023 season was the most one-sided in F1 ever, and Mercedes driver Russell has confessed that the Milton Keynes outfit would most certainly start on top again in 2024. Russell's performance at Mercedes has not been what he expected, with the Silver Arrows slipping out of championship contention at the same time. With Red Bull currently the best team on the grid, that is unlikely to alter very soon, but Russell remains confident that things can change. "I certainly think we're in a better place now than we were 12 months ago," he said. "We've been working towards our new car concept for a number of months. We've cross-checked everything 1,000 times and we're all very confident. There's no doubt Red Bull will start the season on top, but it is a long season. It starts earlier than ever and finishes later than ever. Things can change. For my part, I'm excited. I feel good within myself, and next year is a clean slate for everybody. I hope for a season where I can perform and get the results as I did in 2022, or at least maximize results as I did in 2022. My confidence hasn't been dented whatsoever." Russell defeated Lewis Hamilton in 2022 but fell short of the 7-time world champion last season. But he is not intimidated by the job of fighting whom he describes as the best driver of all time. "I've been on Lewis's level, on average, throughout this year," he notes. "And I'm not satisfied with just being on his level. I want to be ahead of him, but I've also got to be realistic. I'm going up against the greatest driver of all time. He's definitely not a bad benchmark. And, I think quali statistics, if you include sprint races, we're exactly the same, and pace-wise we're generally the same as well. So there are positives, and to be honest I'd prefer to be sat here without the results, but with the pace, rather than saying, oh, we lucked into a result here or we lucked into a result there, when actually I was a 10th or 2 off the pace." Lewis Hamilton, however, unlike Russell, is convinced that his team will make the needed significant progress, despite the immense pressure on the team. When asked if it is conceivable to restart from scratch and compete with Red Bull Racing, which has a 2-season advantage in that regard, Hamilton said, "It's not as easy as that. You have to try and take the good parts and, through trial and error, try to add other parts," the 7-time world champion responded. Hamilton understands how difficult the endeavour will be. Still, it's not impossible that there will be anything groundbreaking on the W15 that they didn't envision of or dare to threaten Red Bull at the front. But you can imagine Red Bull are also nervous of making too big a change and it being the wrong one. We need to be consistently, week on week, adding performance. We have higher targets than ever before because we have a massive gap to catch. That makes it really tricky. The last time Hamilton won a race was in Saudi Arabia in 2021. For Mercedes' most recent victory, we must return to Brazil in 2022, when George Russell took the lead at Interlagos on Sunday. The entire squad is under intense pressure to halt this losing streak. A huge amount of pressure, said Hamilton. Ultimately, as a boss like Toto, you have to start leaning on people more rather than backing off on them. How you do that is not easy, as people break at a certain point. So how do you do it in a constructive way? In a way that's inspiring them to continue. But that boss, Toto Wolff, the Mercedes team principal, believes Red Bull's dominance will endure beyond 2023 for one important reason. So, are Mercedes doomed for these upcoming years as both Russell and Wolff feel that it might be too big of a step? Toto Wolff, Mercedes team principal, believes Red Bull began development of their 2024 competitor sooner than everyone else, since he expects them to preserve their lead in Formula One. Because of the enormous lead in development time, Red Bull is expected to extend their winning streak. With the RB20 into 2024, having spent the big part of the 2023 season focused on its development for the RB20, despite an aero testing handicap. Mercedes had another difficult season adjusting to their new car concept, but Wolff believes they can recover. "We want to give it everything to have a fair shot," Wolff said. "I have no doubt that they have stopped the development of the current car early and they will be very strong next season. But we are going to give it all to push very hard and try to be part of the nice racing at the front." And as the motorsport world awaits the emerging drama of the 2024 Formula One season, Mercedes team chief Toto Wolff teases another fierce duel between Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. So, we won't just see them fighting at the front according to the development program from this winter, but we'll get to see them fighting each other at the front. The dynamic combination, now entering their third year together, saw Hamilton win the 2023 intra-team contest, establishing a 59-point advantage over his younger opponent. Hamilton's outstanding performance, highlighted by 6 podium finishes and a short flirtation with the championship's runner-up place, contrasted with Russell's admission of a scrappy season. Despite earning 2 podiums, Russell freely expressed relief at the end of a difficult season. Wolff has now announced preparations for a positive and intelligent conversation with Russell to assist him. Go over 2023 and into 2024. "We will have a good conversation," he said about the young driver. "Everybody needs some feedback. He's a very strong character and he came out of the summer very strong. He changed his approach a little bit and that was good. And then it swung the other way around and Lewis performed extraordinarily well." So, will Toto give George some of Lewis's tricks? And could it be enough guidance for him that he will be able to challenge Lewis again? Or will Lewis speed away as Mercedes are able to produce a race-winning car? What are your thoughts on their prospects? Or maybe even more important, what are your thoughts on all their talks on the upcoming season? Will Red Bull really be as dominant again? Or have Mercedes already started sandbagging and will shock us all when the first race starts next month? We'll have to wait around 7 more weeks until we find out. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one.